Centenary. One day in early summer, the Fat Controller called a meeting of the engines. "You have all heard," he announced, "of the thin clergyman." "Isn't he the one who wrote stories about us?" ventured Thomas. "Well done, Thomas. Sadly, he has now died, but this year is 100 years since he was born." He paused impressively. "To mark this auspicious occasion," he went on. "What's suspicious?" squeaked Percy, hoping the Fat Controller hadn't heard him. But he had. "Auspicious, Percy. It means important. To mark this, important occasion, I have arranged for the bust of the thin clergyman to be unveiled here in a few weeks. Your duties will be adjusted so that you can all attend. There will be a very special visitor here to unveil the bust." The engines were all excited. Some days later, the Fat Controller spoke to James. "I have an important job for you. The crate with the thin clergyman's statue has arrived at the other railway. I want you to fetch it, please." James puffed off proudly. He felt even prouder when he began the journey back to Knapford with the crate safely on a truck. But just as James had passed through Henry's tunnel, there was a rumble and an enormous crash. "Bust my buffers! What happened?" James and his crew looked back in alarm. Part of the tunnel had collapsed behind them. The railway to the outside world was completely cut off. James stopped at the next signal box, and his driver told the signalman what had happened. "What's going on, James?" asked Henry on the opposite direction. James explained everything. Then James continued on, where Henry had to retreat back to the previous station. "Duck, Oliver, and Emily, you three must go first to help to clear away the tunnel. Otherwise, the celebration will be cancelled. More engines will be coming later to help you." "Yes, sir, right away, sir." Thomas was at the steamworks being checked over and having his worn parts mended. "Hello, Duck. Is there something wrong?" "No time to talk. Henry's tunnel has collapsed. We need more engines to help to clear it." And he left the works with a crane and a unit coach in tow. "Oh dear, I must help them. You're good to go, Thomas." Thomas raced off to catch up with Duck. It was hard at work puffing backwards and forwards all afternoon as the engines helped to clear away the tunnel. Even Percy was sent over to help. After most of the rubble was cleared, the engines returned to their normal work, except for Henry, Donald, and Douglas. The Fat Controller sent them to help to repair the tunnel. But until it was mended, no trains could reach the other railway from the island of Sodor. "And no engines can get onto the island either," pointed out Gordon. "Pip and Emma are stuck on the other side of the tunnel, and they're supposed to bring the important visitors." "Emily, how is the situation at the tunnel? I heard you were bringing supplies there." "Well, everything is going very slowly, but hopefully we can get the tunnel done in time." Thomas was worried too when he returned back to his branch line. "We all got jobs to do on that day. What if no one can get here?" "Don't worry," said his driver. "Bertie and his friends are meeting the trains on the other railway and bringing the passengers over."
"Don't worry, Thomas. We will get the line cleared in time for the Centenary."
Thomas felt a bit better after that. The Fat Controller gave orders to carry on as usual, but Gordon's trains to the other railway had to stop at the work station. Bertie brought in passengers, but Gordon complained that it wasn't the same. "I don't think me and my friends can carry on this for much longer. Carrying passengers to and from the mainland is fine, but doing it non-stop is very tiring." Meanwhile, Percy had a smaller problem. "Why is everyone bothered about something that's broken?" he asked Toby one day. Toby was puzzled. "Broken? What do you mean, broken?" Well, explained Percy, the Fat Controller said it was Buzz. What's that? The Dean Clergyman. Poor man, said Percy sadly. Thomas listened nearby and laughed. The Dean Clergyman isn't broken, he chuckled. A bust is a sort of statue with just the head and shoulders of a person. Percy cheered up at once. Oh, that's all right then. I just hope that everyone can get to see it, put in Toby. Later, the Fat Controller announced that the tunnel had been mended. The inspectors worked through the night on their safety checks, and the first train allowed through was Pip and Emma. At the big station, the bus of the Dean Clergyman beneath the silk cover was ready. The engines waited anxiously. At last, Pip and Emma arrived, and the first person off the train was the Prince of Wales. The Fat Controller greeted him, and after a short speech, the prince pulled a cord, the silk cover fell to the ground, revealing the perfect likeness of the Dean Clergyman.
My parents used to read stories about your railway to me as a child. There will never be anything like it.